Okay, this video is hard to make, and it's the reason that I haven't done any book reviews for more than a minute, and I haven't even come up with my best or worst read books for 2018. But I decided to just shut myself off from what I was doing and to sit down and see if I'm able to do this. If I am, the video will go up. If not, I will try again tomorrow. This video is going to comprise of my 2018 reading goals, a brief summary of what upcoming videos I will be doing, and it will also include my 2019 Goodreads goal. Now, I rely heavily on Goodreads. For one reason, it's a great way to keep things organized. I love the way that they do the statistics. It makes it very, very easy for me to know what I want to read and also to keep me accountable for the goals that I set. Now, when I talked about my love of reading and my desire to do this channel and so forth, I briefly mentioned before that I grew up as a reader from the age of 4. But then I went through some rocky times and I didn't read for several years. I did begin reading again. Gotta let the cat out. Sorry. I did begin reading again in maybe towards the end of January. I read maybe, I don't know, 10, 12 books. And then in April, I read a few. But I didn't read much between February and March and the first part of April. Then I found good NetGalley. And when I found NetGalley, it was kind of an answer to a prayer because I wanted to get back into reviewing. So I started NetGalley. I was with NetGalley for about a month. I did maybe 40, 50 reviews in that first month or two. And then I decided to start my blog. And when I did, it took me about 2 days to cut and paste every single review from NetGalley or my word processor over to my blog, and I have been uploading ever since. And I think I have maybe 325 or even more blog posts since I think May 31st or something. Okay, so then my next phase was my channel, and my original intent with the channel was to do tags, TBRs, wrap-ups, book hauls, and individual book reviews. I find the individual book reviews to be very difficult to do because I read rapidly and consecutively, and I don't always take a lot of breaks. And when I do this, I let a lot of stuff pile up there, and I have to sit down and I have to write the review. I have to format the review. I have to post it on the blog, NetGalley, or otherwise First to Read, Instagram, everywhere, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook. It all has to be processed. It has to go to the publishers, or if I'm doing a blog tour, then a blog tour has to be done. And by the time I do all of that for dozens of books, I have very little energy to turn the camera on and make individual videos. So, as I mentioned, and I may put a graphic up there for my Goodreads goal, I met it. I'm happy that I did. I even surpassed it. I got to, my goal was 285 books. As of today, it's almost I think it's the 29th. I read 311 books. I may get 1 or 2 more in, but I'm hoping that this video will be acceptable, and if it is, we're going to say that I read 311 books for 2018, and then anything after the video actually posts, I will put in for my 2019 goals. Before I tell you about my 2019 goals, I want to tell you about my upcoming videos. Now, I have a legend that I created. The legend includes contemporary, mystery thriller, psychological thrillers, historical romance, cozy mysteries, and historical thrillers. Okay, that's the legend that I created. Since I've done my last individual book review, I have read 14 contemporary books, maybe 15, because I didn't update this legend as of this morning, but we're going to go with what I have written down. I've done 5 mystery thrillers, 5 psychological thrillers, which is really weird because usually I do by far the majority of psychological thrillers, but I was working on a project with a couple of authors, and so I did a lot of historical romances, which I'm about to mention next. And that is 10, at least 10 that is in the correct order, but it may be closer to 12. And then I did 2 cozy mysteries, which I try to get a couple of those in every month. And I did 1 historical thriller. That's the legend. I'm going to try and do the contemporaries in one review, the mystery thrillers, and the historical thriller in another review. The psychological thrillers, those 5 or 6, will go in their own review. And then the historical romances will go in its own review. And the cozy mysteries, I may do a brief review for those 2 books, but I may not, because they're not review titles. They're just books that I'm trying to get read because I'm trying to read a series. And by the way, that series is Leslie Meyer's Lucy Stone series. And I think I've read up to book 11. I'm about to start book 12. And I may hold off on those cozy mysteries, maybe read a few more of those and then clump those together, so I'm not sure. So at the bare minimum, I have 4 book review videos to do, and I'll label them or entitle them by the category or the genre that they involve, that they are part of. Now, as far as 2019 is concerned, I have been going back and forth with how to set my goals. I ran into some problems in September and October. I read less books than I usually read. So when that happened, especially in November, by the time I got to November, I'm like, I better set my goal kind of low. But then this month, December hit, and I didn't read for the first week. I went 6 days without opening a single book. But in 3 weeks, I read 38, 39 books. So if I read every day, that could be easily 40 to 45 books. So I'm trying to be balanced here, and I want to say that it would be very easy to say my goal is 50 books or 100 books, but I know that even if I have my bad days, and I'm going to have my bad days, I'm going to definitely read more than 100 books a year. So I decided, well, it's very easy to read 2 books a day, but that would be what, 730 books a year? That's a ridiculous goal to put down. I know one of my Goodreads friends read over 1,100 books in 2018, and that was as of last week. So 700 some odd books isn't unreasonable. But for the sake of my mindset and personality and emotional problems, I'm going to be very simple and go for 1 book a day. So 365 books is going to be my Goodreads goal. I will definitely enjoy reevaluating this come June. So even if I were to surpass that before June, I'm not going to change it on Goodreads. If I don't surpass it by June, I still have 6 months to go, and I think that's the route that I'm going to take. So here you have it. My Goodreads goal for 2019 is 365 books. As far as what I want to read, what I'm looking forward to reading, I have already made my TBRs for January, February, and March. An average of about 35 books per month. So that's 105 books that I hope to read by the end of March. That's my goal. Another goal I have is not only to catch up with NetGalley, Edelweiss, and First Read, you really can't be behind because the books are 2, 3, 4, even 5 months early. But with NetGalley and Edelweiss, I plan to catch up and do like I did through the month of August. I used to get my book reviews in days, sometimes weeks before they were released. So that's my new goal, is to spend the next 3 months getting caught up and then staying on target, reviewing books ahead of time for Goodreads, and then scheduling them on the blog and other social media sources on the date of the release or the day or so before release. Because publishers want the books released, the reviews released when the book comes out. They don't want it on your blog weeks or months in advance. So I'll give you an example. I have a book coming out that comes out on January 6th that I read 2 or 3 months ago. That's reviews ready. It's already formatted, but it's not scheduled to come out till at least the 6th. I have another book that I read for January 8th. That book's been read for a little bit now, but I have to hold off. Yes, those reviews are on Goodreads, but they won't go on the blog or other sources until the release dates. Let's see. After I get caught up, what do I plan to do? I plan to continue to request books from Goodreads and from NetGalley and other sources, and from the actual publishers, the ones that I'm whitelisted with, and other publishers, and read those books ahead of schedule. Now, I did wonder the other day when I was completing my March TBR, I think I have something like 180 books to read. Currently either on my Kindle, in my home, on my Kindle or in my home. They're all here, every last one of those. If I succeed, that would mean technically by May at the latest, I'll be caught up. So what will I do between June and December? Well, that depends on NetGalley and Edelweiss and other places to see if I'm going to continue to request the magnanimous amount of books that I've been requesting. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see if I'm going to go and try to get another 100 or 200 more books. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. Will I be disappointed by the end of 2019 and only get 150 or 200 books read versus my 365? Will I fail myself? No, I'm not going to feel that I fail myself. I do think it's doable. And I did want to throw one other thing. Worst case scenario, if I cannot grab a host of books from online sources or from Forever or Kensington or Bookerture, which I definitely can, but if I decide I'm not going to go that route, there are some series that I want to catch up on, and I have Hoopla, I have my public library, I have Audible and Scribd, although Scribd makes me a little bit unhappy, so I have plenty of book sources, and then I have the physical library, and then I have a bookshelf in the other room that is overflowing that I haven't had time to read. So I guess I'm going to correct what I just said a few minutes ago. I'm going to have plenty to read in 2019, and my cat wants to come back in. Anybody that has cats, you know they rule the house. It's cats rule, people drool, right? That's what he says. So he gets to go in when he wants, go out when he wants, and come in when he wants. All right, that's it. I hope that I am satisfied with this review once I take a look at it. If not, then I'll redo it, and maybe the next time it'll be better. If not, happy reading to you. Look forward to next year, and look forward to a lot more reviews coming up very, very soon. All right, thank you. Bye.